Off-season grades. We're close to the season, so we can now officially start to dissect some of these grades. Shout out to ESPN for posting this, but they mean a lot more now than they did back in, March or April. This offseason in general, it's a sad offseason because of how legendary this offseason could have been. This could have been recorded down in history as the greatest Bengals offseason in franchise history, and nothing could even come close to comparing. Like, a lot of people, I feel like, who aren't Bengals fans, obviously, forget what we did this offseason because of the Trey situation and Shamar situation. Which, again, Bengals front office, just pay Trey. Just pay him. Get it over with. There's literally no reason not to pay him at this point. You're costing yourself more with distractions and potentially having a bad season because you're not paying him. Just get the situation over with, pay the guy, and move on. Get it done with, give him a 5-year contract, and move on with that. That's what, it's like, if we did that, and we figured out the small short situation, this offseason is an A+. And like I said, we signed Jamar Chase, signed T. Higgins, brought back B.J. Hill, brought back in T.J. Slayton, had a really excellent excellent draft outside of obviously a small short situation right now, but very excellent draft. We got a new defense coordinator, new positional coaches, new offensive line coaches, got rid of Alex Kappa, got rid of Jermaine Pratt. Like, this would have been the best offseason possible. But it's like the second that all these great things are happening, the Bengals front office has to self-sabotage them. I cannot speak today. Self-sabotage themselves and mess it up. Because if it wasn't for this Trey situation, wasn't for this Shamar Short situation, this was the greatest offseason ever. And we would easily be an A++. But it is what it is, Hopefully it gets figured out. That's what I'll say about that. Now, ESPN does say biggest move is extending Jamar Chase. Move I liked, extending Jamar Chase. I will say I know that they're selecting just one thing for each of these categories, but I really feel like you can't say extending Jamar Chase without putting in T. Higgins as well. Because we very clearly, T. Higgins and Jamar Chase's agent now, Roxy, made it very clear. You either get both or you get nobody. We chose both. So I feel like it's like a package deal in that way. So whenever you bring up like, oh, the Bengals re-signed Jamar Chase and signed a new contract, T has to be in that conversation as well because they're a 1A, 1B type combo. Moves I like, again, extending Chase and extending T. Moves I didn't like, not working on a new deal with Trey Hendrickson. I will say, even going farther than that, I think the situation that really got bad was the lack of communication between the Bengals front office and Trey Hendrickson. So I think that's also a big issue there that, really hurt us this offseason. But again, like I said, we have training camp in 9 days. 9 days is when rookies report to training camp. 13 days is when veterans and everyone reports to training camp. The Bengals still have a chance. We still have a chance to salvage this offseason. Salvage that C+ and make it an A+. And here's the thing. You still got contracts that are going to get done for Micah Parsons, TJ Watt, and that's just going to drive the price of Trey up even more. Get it done now before training camp for both players. You go into training camp, have a kick-butt training camp. Everyone's happy. Everyone's excited. Crazy great training camp. Crazy great preseason. You kick off the season opener beating the Brownies. We're not even talking about this offseason. And it looks like, at that point, it would look like the Bengals front office best in the game. You have an opportunity. The ball's in your court. It's not over yet. Once Micah gets paid and TJ Watt gets paid, and by the way, TJ Watt right now, they're saying he's going to get as much as Jamar Chase. So just imagine that now. Right now, the price tag for Trey might be $35 million. Maybe $36 million, depending, right? Once TJ Watt gets paid, that price tag for Trey, right above TJ. And now you might say, well, TJ's the better player, whatever your opinion is. It doesn't matter. It's the next man up mentality. The next paycheck is what someone wants to be more than the last guy. So, pay him now. Get it done with. Like I said, I think, in my personal opinion, I say 5-year contract. Never deal with this again. He's going to retire a Cincinnati Bengal. You never got to deal with this crap again. He's worth the money. He's going to put up the sack numbers that you need him to put up. Get it over with. Anyway, maybe 5 years not a good number, but 4 or 5 years. Let's just not worry about this again. But anyway, like I said before, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. We still have a chance, but there is no communication between Trey's side and the Bengals side because, again, it's this back and forth where neither side is budging. Now, I will say, according to a couple sources, 3 weeks ago, there was conversation back and forth. Not as much anymore, but there was. Shamar Sword situation, there was conversations back and forth at the end of June. Since the end of June, zippo, zero talk. So, it is what it is. Tell me down below your thoughts, opinions. See you guys in the next one. Let's go out golden. Peace out.